talked to my palliative care doctor about this a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, something has to change because this is insane. I've been hospitalized because of stress. That has caused.
I cannot believe we're here back with Nikki. So excited. Today we're going to talk about Janina. So we're just going to get right into it. I don't want to waste any time. For those of you who don't know, maybe you just stumbled across this episode randomly. Nikki and I have both experienced some very interesting people online. And I think people underestimate the power of people through their computer. Like, they can do a lot of damage just because they don't like you. They could dig into your past. They could find there's a lot of stuff out there that you probably don't even know that's online about yourself, right? So these people will find it. They will use it against you. They will try to embarrass you. They will, especially if you're a professional. They like to really try to report you to the licensing boards and stuff like that. And Janina is one of the people. When I edit this, I'll put some pictures up so you guys can see what she looks like. She's a convicted felon. She's a wanted woman, but she's a patient advocate on TikTok. So, she's really doing big things. So, Nikki, I'm going to have you go ahead and introduce yourself, and you could take it away from there.
Anybody saw last episode? I am Nikki. I have had my fair share of the run-ins with these women. Janina has been more all over Allie than me. I have recently blocked several of her burners, though. But she's just as bad as the rest of them, honestly, if not worse.
I think she's one of the leaders, honestly.
Yeah, trying to pretend like she's a patient advocate,
or a patient, or a chronic pain patient.
True.
She's very not true. One. She's just not one.
She's nothing. She's absolutely nothing.
And I don't doubt she has pain in general. A lot of us have pain when we age, we get pain, but she's not a chronically ill person that's in the hospital or dealing with. No, she likes to abuse medication. I'm just going to say it,
Yeah. About 90% of that group of women likes to do that.
And it seems like, some of them probably are genuinely prescribed these things, but they overdo it. And it's very obvious with their behavior. Janina, for example, her eyes are always pinned. Her voice is always groggly. I lived that life. I know it, and when you take too much of your medicine, I'm sure you feel those things, I've been there. So it's just weird for them to come up here and do all these big things with advocacy, and then that's them. I don't understand that.
No, I don't. I'm still trying to find out how Tanya even got wrapped up with this group of women. It's like they latch on to these people that they think are going to be these major advocates, like Tanya or Alpha.
You know what a good nurse wouldn't do? I can tell you a bunch of them. A good nurse would not attack people that have lifelong physical ailments, that have gone through multiple surgeries, like you have. A good nurse wouldn't almost lose her kid 7 separate times to DCF. 8 times 30 per break. I got it. A good nurse wouldn't be losing her job because she doesn't know how to fucking behave as a nurse. And here's the fun part. You might not know me. I can give you a little hint, maybe you'll know me. You don't have to accept or reject it. No, the issue is you attack most people that I care about, and I came for you. I've already spent $30,000 figuring out where you live, where you work, everything about you. If you check over your shoulder every once in a while, you have a PI on you. To put into perspective, Moist made a video about me, and within 3 weeks, he was having some immigration problems with his team. Weird how this coincidence would work. I'm just going to talk about the coincidence.
They call themselves a force to be reckoned with. So they really do think they're doing something. Meanwhile, this whole time they have restraining orders against them now. They try to take us to court. They leave with the judge telling them you can't do this. It hasn't worked out. April, for example, she's in front of the board now she's actually in front of the board. That was their wish for me. They wanted me in trouble for what?
Probably because she was running around doing worse things than you could ever imagine.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot more, I told you I obtained wire transfers and different things from people that they don't want to be mentioned. They don't want to be told who they are. Things are not going to be shared in that capacity. But I know that large sums of money have been moved around. I know that people have been sharing drugs. We could say it on here. Yeah, that's just the black and white of it.
And what's funny is they think that we don't have any of that. They think that we're just making it up because that's what they do, kind of like April with my line. You're just going to make up a lie and run with it with absolutely no research behind it whatsoever. So, we've already proven that we're better than them. We do our research. We make sure that we know what we're talking about.
We come with receipts. I don't ever say something without the corresponding receipt. I wouldn't do that.
And one of those people in particular likes to say that she's got all this info on people, but she's got no proof. She's shown no proof whatsoever, except for, I think the one thing she posted about me was the worthless check charge, the 3 checks or whatever that went south in Florida
1,000
in
years ago.
2006.
I was gonna say 1,000 years ago. Yeah, like, and these people are convicted felons. These people are diverters of medication. Like, these are not good people. What are they doing judging us because we came away from that? We're not like that anymore, and they still are very much like that. They're trying to commit crimes online. They are harassing people for entertainment. Certain people, for example, like, this is something they genuinely do for their own entertainment, for a good feeling inside. That's what works for them.
Yeah, and that's what's so pathological about the whole thing, is they do it because it makes them feel good.
Yeah.
And it makes them feel important, and they're anything but.
And I think that's the problem with a lot of people when they get these like platforms, even 5,000, 10,000 followers, or maybe someone like Nurse Naya, for example, who ended up with 500,000 followers. You're very influential to whatever group is following you. And I don't think they take advantage of that. They take advantage fully, first asking for money, like every which way, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, a GoFundMe with all this improper spelling. That was weird. And like every single one of them at the end of it is grifting for something. Every single one of them.
But they want to call us grifters.
Girl, we are the most independent compared to them. Like, we are so good. Like, there's no comparison. So I think it's, at the end of the day, it is a lot of jealousy. And like, as somebody who does decent in life, I guess you have to expect a certain amount of that. Like, you can't put anything out anywhere and someone just be happy for you. There always has to be a person, and it's usually an older woman that is not happy. Things didn't work out for them, and it's like, I don't know why that has to be projected onto others. It's very common. I think social media has exacerbated, because all the little Karens get together and they go attack someone who didn't bother them. I didn't come to them. They didn't like my TikTok. And then they said I called CPS on Tanya, which never happened. So it's like, you can't go and just report people to literal like boards of nursing because you don't like something they did or whatever. I don't even know what the basis is.
No, I've had terrible nurses in my time in the hospital, and I've still never reported any of them to the board of nursing.
And there's always times that people need to be reported. I'll never say that. But and they're free to make their report. But like, for example, that woman Lindsay, who apparently is a nurse, why was she putting that woman's license number up on her page like that?
Yeah, I don't.
We'll find you, she said, or we'll find you.
You're talking about the LINZ, right?
Quadzilla chick.
Yeah.
She had another nurse's license number saying, "Oh, see, we told you we'd find you," or whatever. Like, that's disgusting. What is the benefit? That's not advocacy. That is harassment. That is stalking. And that is somebody that has some type of unresolved trauma that is trying to be malicious towards somebody else. That's all it is.
100%. I don't even know what to say half the time about these women.
Well, and that's the thing too, is I think they know that they create this like thing that looks so crazy. Like, we look crazy talking about this whole thing, because it doesn't make sense. Who would do this? Who would create fake accounts with a picture of my face and like a weird freeze frame to call me fat, ugly, and tell me my family doesn't like me? Like, how does that make their day better? I don't understand. And the persistence, it's not like it happened once or twice. It's every day for a year. You know what I'm saying?
And they have all made mention of our body types, our height, our weight, the way our face looks without a filter. Like,
who are they? Yeah.
Ugh, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And the one person in particular, you can see her downfall on her TikTok.
The picking of the face and all that kind of stuff, you could see it. And just like, when somebody, their brain chemistry shifts, you could see it physically in their face. You just really can. And then that person has been steadily declining. And I think the group in general, like, these people are not taking medications they're supposed to be taking, for example, properly, maybe like psychiatric medication. The one that I have a restraining order, she doesn't feel the need to see a psychiatrist. She just wants her primary care to give her Klonopin and be on her way. It's like, there's a reason a psychiatrist is needed, because you need an evaluation and you need to be kept up on with these medications. She wants it. She just wants it. It's like, that's not how this works.
No, I couldn't, because I have a psychiatrist. Even if I didn't have a psychiatrist, the only thing that my PCP would fill for me if I needed it would be my Seroquel.
Yeah, they won't.
That's it. They're not going to fill any benzos. They're not going to fill any
once
medication.
maybe, like, if you can get in, okay, I'll give you a few till you get there, like that kind of, they don't want to be, they're not going to be responsible for psych meds. So I mean, for her to get mad, it's like, you're a nurse and you don't know how this works. Like you need to see a psychiatrist to stay on those meds. But that's why they're unregulated and their emotions all over the place, and that's why they probably have to pass around medications between each other, because it's not adding up. They're either overusing or whatever the case may be.
Yep. All of them, especially every single fucking one of them.
And a lot of them are not prescribed those medications. They don't need them. They don't need opiates around the clock. Absolutely not. And I just think that they put a lot of emphasis, like their life revolves around these medications. It seems like, they're 100%. So, and I get like fighting for a medication that you need to have a certain quality of life. That makes sense to me. But like, it's cult-like. It's cult-like, you know. I see that from them. So I don't think that's healthy. But
no, and most of these women that like I have seen them talking, or I've talked to them about before all this shit started, was that they couldn't get pain management to listen to them. They couldn't get the meds that they wanted or that they needed because their pain doctor wouldn't listen to them. You will find a pain doctor willing to listen to you if you try hard enough. Like, I mean, I went through it for years, but I didn't stop until I found somebody that was willing to help me.
Right, exactly. And I think the thing with a lot of them too is like, for example, Miss Janina Rivera, like a pain management doctor is not going to prescribe stuff to her, and she's a convicted drug felon. They're not. She's not allowed to be on pain management. So that's why she has difficulty obtaining these medications, because she blocked herself from getting them by doing those crimes, you know, with her kids in the car nonetheless. Like, this is all public information. So, I mean, to come on this platform as a felon, you're giving political advice. It's like an oxymoron. She's like an oxymoron. I don't get it.
She goes hand in hand with the other one. Like their mentality is the same, is identical.
They're just different in their posts in life. They're just like a different class in life. That's it.
Exactly. And that's what I was saying about that post that I made a couple days ago when I was in Maryland. Like, look at all of these women in this group. There's one woman that doesn't fit in with the rest of them. And you know who I'm talking about.
She's using them for something. Why does she have to go to these lower life people that kind of bottom feed? They're criminals. They have criminal histories. They do like shady stuff. Why would she? Oh, because she needs to get certain things from them and they have access. That's why there's these large sums of money being exchanged, for example.
100%.
Like those wire transfers. We know that that's happened. Strangers, random people. Why are you spending thousands of dollars across the internet like that?
To somebody you've never, ever met.
A woman in a tent, for example. One of the women, she sent me a picture of when she was living in a tent and Katie sent her this money. And so, I mean, unless that was a whole setup and somebody was just doing that to get at her, I don't know. But it seemed weird. And she had a lot of information. So
there's a lot of weird people in that group.
Can you imagine? I feel like she has a thing for like giving people money and having control over them or something. Almost like a sugar daddy type complex. I don't know. Like, I own you, and now
100%, 100%.
And I think she likes sending big chunks of money to people because, like, you could do you can control them to $3,000, $5,000 to someone like Bridget, for example, or this woman in the tent. That's a lot of money. That's life changing for them. Okay, I mean, for me, that's a good chunk of money. But like, it's not right that she's using it to kind of hang over their head, and that's why I feel like Bridget won't conversate with me because she feels indebted to this woman. I've tried so many times through Cheryl say, hey, I need to talk to this woman if we're ever going to move on. She won't do it.
She'll flip soon. I
think she will, because like I feel I could probably relate to her and we could probably have a good conversation. And I feel like if she, like me and Cheryl, we get along great when we talk to each other. I feel like it could be the same, but she's letting all these things get in the middle and she's being manipulated. Because that's what she is a big manipulator.
100%.
So I don't think some of these people understand to what degree they're being manipulated.
No, that's what happened with me and Bridget. Like, I blocked Katie when she made that threatening post to my mom, which she denies, which my mother still clearly has. And she
That was
physically
awful.
threatened my mom in a video that she posted about a difference of opinions on politics. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And then Bridget like went off the rails on me.
So personal. Like, it's so about them. It's like, you could just say, okay, we agree to disagree and move on. But no, she had to like threaten somebody and get nasty, and then they take it real life, which that's the problem I have. I'll go back and forth with you all fucking day online. That's fine. Don't call my fucking job.
Yeah.
Don't tell people where my kid goes to school. Don't be telling people where I live or putting my VIN number on. Why are you doing that? You know what I'm saying? That's so.
It makes them feel like they have something on you. The same thing with her going 20 years into my past to talk to my first husband's mistress.
Yes.
And then get whatever information, like they think that I stole his truck when I wrecked it. Why was I never arrested? They think that I stole all this money from him. Why was I never arrested?
Exactly.
Like,
or they try to use things that you have shared against you. Like I was saying, how when I was 16, I was on PINS, for example. It's like a form of probation for kids. I was on probation and like, oh, she must have been charged with a crime. Pay attention. Like, it's like, first of all, I'm telling you. And second of all, you're interpreting it. They're just making stuff up to fit their little narrative of whoever that person is they don't like. You know, just like with your story, they made it to make you look like shit, essentially. That's what they wanted to do.
And what's even worse, like, this is how shitty these people are. That wreck literally killed me. And I came back from it. Like, tenfold, I came back from it. And they're trying to use that against me somehow because I stole his truck. No, bitch. We were sharing a vehicle. We were married.
Right.
We were sharing a vehicle. We were sharing a bank account.
They don't have to have any knowledge of anything else. It's not their business, you know, but they feel like they make you feel like you need to explain yourself. You know, that's what they try to make people feel. Like today, they're all over my page. Oh, your family doesn't like you. Well, if you think that, that's fine. There's people in my family I don't get along with, and that's everybody in the fucking world. Everybody has people they don't get along with in their family. And for them to sit here and try to act like I'm abnormal or something is like projection. Again, it's like, y'all have your issues. Jenny, for example, doesn't get along with her mother. So why is it expected that everything my mother says about me would be true and she's just the most correct person? Or, you know, why is it so crazy that she would lie about me, you know?
Same with my ex-husband's mistress.
Right.
Like,
so
of course she's gonna lie about me.
They're gonna take that shit and run with it. Yeah, because like, look what I got. Look what I got. Bad information. So it's like, yeah, it literally is bad information, and you guys are just trying to use it in reports. Like I said, again, Board of Nursing, or just embarrassing people online. Why is it like even Mike, for example, the car accident? Why are you asking people for information? Why are you posting tagging strangers and asking them, like people that worked at Palomar Hospital, asking them about me? What the fuck is that? That's insane. That's stalker harassment behavior. That's very intimidating and scary. But I know who these people are, and I'm gonna fucking go after them like we have been, and they're not gonna get away with this shit. That's insane.
Nope. One of them in particular is gonna have 2 different lawsuits on her hands. So.
Yeah, and we know for a fact now this person is full of crap when it comes to, oh, I have a lawyer. Well, why are you not getting any of the cease and desist or anything? You're just he's just letting you continue to run your mouth. And then she tried to say like, oh, well, same for you. No, I'm just saying what you're doing. You're causing the problem.
Yeah,
we're not going to do that. Like
she got my cease and desist, and she fucking signed for it. Her husband did not sign for it on the exact same day, which was weird. He didn't sign for it the exact same day that she signed for it.
Because she's hiding shit. She's hiding shit.
Yep, she signed, and honestly, he probably wasn't even home when it was delivered, which is why he didn't sign, and she probably hid it from him.
Exactly, I think
100%, because that would make a lot more sense. But she signed for it. I got the confirmation she signed, so I know she got it.
And it's
she
like
just doesn't know how to shut her fucking mouth.
I'm sending you a letter saying, like, I literally have to send you a legal letter saying stop fucking doing this shit. Like, why? I don't understand how people are genuinely getting entertainment out of this stuff they're doing on the internet. And because they feel, well, it's online, it's not that serious, or I can get away with it. You know, I'm not harassing people like in real life. No, that's real life, especially when you call their job, you access their previous spouse and their new spouse. Like, why are you contacting these people?
I've made several posts, one specifically towards Catherine, where she needs to call me if she wants to continue this bullshit.
They won't.
This rhetoric that she's got. She needs to call me like a woman. Like, we can have a conversation.
They can't do this. They can't. Yeah. They're
And
not
I've offered it to Bridget as well. Bridget read the message. She deleted the message and then she blocked me.
same.
So,
And I've had Cheryl directly tell her, hey, I need to have a conversation with you if this is going to get anywhere. And then Cheryl returns with, oh, Bridget can't handle it. She feels that she was just so attacked and it brings her to tears. Okay, well, she was a real tough bitch all this time. And now she can't have a conversation with me. That's not right. That's not normal. And we need to like not try to keep minimizing everything. They just want to be like, oh, you guys are just acting so extra about this. No, you guys are just causing problems and we're not going to let that fly.
problems that we don't need.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like they're just being nasty bully bitches. Like there's no reason for anything that they're doing. The name calling. Why are you calling people names? Like who gives a fuck? Like if they think I care about them calling me names, it just proves that they're bad people and they have nothing better going on. Like why would you spend your time doing that? And to make all these fake accounts, like so many, like that's psychological.
Yeah, it's sociopathic is what it is.
Yeah, and I just don't understand how like these people their real lives are full of, like, for example, the one that got evicted last week or whatever. I mean, Katie must have paid her rent or something because we haven't heard about it. But
Guarantee she did. Guarantee she did, because if she gives her money, then she's owed her something.
I guarantee she did. And she waits till people get in those positions too. Like she didn't have to wait till she was evicted to help her, but you know, whatever. That's her own deal. She can help whoever she wants. I just think it's very manipulative. What do they always call everyone a narcissist? I mean, to me, that's a narcissist. I mean, I don't know. If I ever seen one, that looks like one to me.
Literally talked to my palliative care doctor about this a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, something has to change because this is insane. I've been hospitalized because of stress that has caused my flare-ups. Like, I've been septic 5 times. Like, this is fucking insane. And he straight up told me, he's like, I will write you a letter right now to your attorney.
That's huge. That's a big deal. Take it. Yeah, because people, like, I think they probably, like I said, they minimize. I'll just sign offline. I'll just don't. No, it's not like that. Once
We shouldn't have to do that. They should behave themselves.
That too. We're entitled to our social media. I make money on social media. I enjoy the connections that I make on social media. These people are not going to fuck it up. And that's the thing. Anybody that comments in your videos, they're going to go and harass them. It's ridiculous. It's not acceptable. And there needs to be some type of like online etiquette. People need to be held responsible for this keyboard warrior bullshit.
Especially on TikTok. Like, that's what I don't understand. So, like, I've had so many comments CGV'd and deleted because it...
For what, right?
Because I said that what they were doing was stupid, or...
You can't even say ew. You can't say ew.
No, I called them horrid once. I used the word abhorrent, and that got taken down. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? But these people can make these videos.
Or say the worst thing.
Yeah, and I'm like... But my comment gets removed. Gotcha, TikTok.
Get it. And that's why I think, and that's why like currently my other account is banned, right? And I think like that's ridiculous. There's nothing on there that should be banned. Why? Because I spoke up for myself. I didn't bully them or call them names or anything like that. So I have to lose my account. So now I have to go through the whole process.
They got my first account banned, saying that I was talking about sexual exploitation of a minor when I was on a live. And they didn't even give me a warning. They just shut my shit down while I was on live.
And they don't even go and look and be like, oh, no, that's not what happened. Like, they're just like, oh, nope, not honored. We're just taking your account. It's like, that's happened to so many people. My friend, she just hit, I think she was at 800,000. She almost hit 1 million. Okay. I met her when she had 450 followers, right? They banned her goddamn account. I was so mad for her. I almost hit 1 million. That's not right. Like, why? And it's just because people keep reporting because they don't like that person, because they're jealous of them, because they're succeeding with their social media. Like, I can't tell you how my family used to shame me, make fun of me. Oh, are you a teenager? No, I'm a bitch that likes to make money. I'm a hustler. That's what I am. They don't know. They don't know that. They don't know what that's about. So it's like, I just don't appreciate people. Like, I would try to like show my mom the videos that I spent hours on. Like, when I first started doing social media, it took me so long to edit and do all that stuff. And now I could do it really fast, but it's like, I just wanted to show somebody like the stuff that I was creating, and she couldn't be fucking bothered. So it's like, that's why I'm not going to have people like that in my life. That is toxic. That is a waste of my own energy. And like, that's exactly what these people are. They are all the same. They're just like that. If it's not about them, they don't have the time to give you a applause or cheer you on. They'll never clap for somebody else.
Oh, and Katie, when you see this, because we know you will, We have not spoken about you for more than 2/3 of this podcast. You had got brought up.
I think
You
it's
were
been like
spoken
1
about,
minute. Yeah.
and now we're on to the next. So you can move along as well.
I think it's been like 1 minute. But yeah, there's so much other things going on. This is a way bigger issue. Like I said, with the toxic creators, people that have 1 million, 500,000 followers, and they represent themselves as some type of medical professional. And these chronic pain community people latch on, the rogue community, whatever they call themselves. And these people kind of empower them to do. Like I have all these messages with Nurse Naya encouraging this bullshit.
And if it was up to me, every time I saw a video like this, you would lose your license. I would take it from you and you would never get it back. Because that's who you are. Given the opportunity to just be who you are, that's what you show the world. You could make yourself look like the most innocent person in the world, but no, that made the cut.
Oh, like talking about me like, oh, she shouldn't have done that. Oh, she shouldn't have done, excuse me? Shouldn't have done what? It's like literally nothing. You just don't like a person that you see and it makes you feel some type of way and y'all feel the same. So you gang up on that person.
I still don't understand how your one video pissed off so many people when you were literally talking about Zyprexa. It's not like we were talking about loading them up with Haldol or anything. It was Zyprexa.
Me, that's it. It's just me. It's not even the video. They're just trying to say that, you know. It's like, and then it was Tanya's CPS deal, whatever. It's like y'all just make up whatever fits that day, and it's like you don't even know what their problem is half the time.
Well, according to Lindsay, you can only be a mandated reporter while you're at work.
I am just so besides myself with this person. I mean, to claim that you're a doctorate of nursing and you don't know what a mandated reporter is, police officers, teachers, foster parents, nurses. The whole point of being a mandated reporter is that you have eyes all over it all the time. If you're out in public and you see something that is inappropriate, you report it. That's what a mandated reporter is. Obviously, at my job, I'm reporting things that are happening. That's what I do at work. But outside of work, that's what a mandated reporter is. You're not a nurse. There's no way. There's absolutely no way that this person is a nurse and they don't know that mandated reporters are generally required to report suspected child abuse, for example, neglect, regardless of whether they are at work or not. Now, this is common knowledge. So now I know for a fact that you are being dishonest about something too. So we're going to have to look into Lindsay a little bit. And for someone that apparently check the laws to avoid spreading misinformation. Girl, as a doctorate of nursing, you should know this, period. You don't need to check the laws, okay? These are the laws for my state. In California, mandated reporters are legally obligated to report any known or suspected, even suspected, cases of child abuse or neglect to the appropriate authorities. These reports must be made immediately, as soon as practically possible, with a written follow-up in 36 hours. Mandated reporters also have a duty to report suspected elder or dependent adult abuse. Did you not? This is just from Google, honey, okay? So you didn't even bother to Google this information before you came to my page of all places. This was a bold move, honey, because now you got me on a roll. What was that?
I'm a mandated reporter, and I don't work in a hospital.
Most people honestly are. You're a foster mom, you're a cop, you're a nurse, you're a this, you're that, you're a volunteer firefighter. Like literally,
I work in a school, so I'm.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mandated reporter, and obviously it would be outside because it's like if you see something, you're obligated to say something. That could be you could be at the fair. Who fucking knows?
Mm-hmm.
I guess according to Dr. Lindsay, who is a doctorate of nursing, but doesn't know what mandated reporters are, that's not the case. So if I see, and it's funny that they said that too, because one time they tried to make like an edit of one of my videos. I was on the porch here at my apartment, right? And there's like some questionable, drug users and stuff that can wander along the way, right? Because there's a highway right up here. So I guess they were like living in a car or something, and they were like parked out there, and they had a baby in their car, and it was hot. It was like 100 plus that day, and that baby was crying. That baby was not taken care of. So I called 911. I called the cops, and they were saying I was like a snitch or something. That's what they were saying. I was just. I was like, no, ma'am, I'm a mandated reporter. That baby's gonna die in there. I'm calling the police, and they came and took care of the situation. But what the hell? Like it's like. So y'all
because they're allowed to be bad, shitty parents, and if you call it out, then it's going to make them look even worse.
I was so confused. And like, I mean, I know like April's had her children taken by CPS, so maybe she felt some type of way, but it's like, y'all would just like let that fly? Like, I'm confused. Like,
Don't break the law. CPS won't get called.
And to get your kids taken, like, they had to come a lot, okay? Because I've had my mom call CPS on me probably every year that my daughter's been alive. So at least 12, 13, 14 times, something like that. So for them to never, ever do anything, obviously you need to be doing a lot wrong if they're taking your whole kids away. All of them, like 3 of them. Like, you know,
multiple times.
A mistake. Role was also bringing strange men around her kids. She was leaving her kids home alone while she was going to work. And it's like, that's another thing they kept trying to say about me. It's like, y'all don't know what I do with my kid. Y'all don't know anything about me.
Well, the fact that April was like trying to defend herself and then her daughter got on here and was like, no, fuck you. Like, you're a piece of shit mom.
And I don't know if she knew that content was up because it was like already up, I think. And it's like we found it. And I think like she was trying to get her daughter to defend her. I remember when she had her daughter try to make a video like in the very beginning, and it went bad. Like her daughter's not the most brightest, but look at April. I mean, she's not smart. I just have to say it.
That's why she works in long-term care.
I mean, that's like the least complicated job. I mean, physically, a lot of work, but mentally, I mean, anybody could do it. You know, it's not like you're doing calculations.
And I don't mean that against anybody that does work in long-term care. I started out in long-term care.
Yes, exactly.
But the nurses in long-term care are a different species than the nurses bedside.
Totally different. And so. I've been both. I worked in long-term care for 10 years, so I can speak for both. You know, it's a different level of nursing, that's for sure. But there's a reason that April was an LPN for 25 years. You know, like she didn't go on to the next level. One, I think her attitude is very poor and she's not able to adjust. Like she'll fight the patient. You know what I'm saying? Like she can't de-escalate somebody. She will go at them. You know, they call her a bad word or something. She's going to take it personally. And that's dangerous. That's dangerous. Thing. You can't take shit personally because you'll hurt somebody or yourself.
Wasn't it your judge that called her inflammatory anyways?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. So I didn't even have to like describe her for him to come to that decision. That was just based on, I came prepared. I showed him all that evidence. I must have had 40 exhibits for him. So he knew everything that was going on. And, you know, they wouldn't have issued that if they felt this was frivolous or inappropriate. You know, there's a reason somebody else didn't get hers and she left the court being told, ma'am, you need to stop what you're doing too. It needs to go both ways.
Exactly.
That's got to be like a history maker. I don't know.
Well, I had over 140 pieces of evidence to submit to her attorney and the judge. And when I asked that attorney for continuation, because I had been in the hospital for 3 weeks, explaining to him why I needed the continuation, because I was getting representation for myself and I had over 140 pieces of evidence to submit. Within 10 minutes, he called me back. He wanted to do a no contact with her.
And I think, I mean, that was fine with me because then that helps. Okay, then we don't have to communicate in any way. And the thing that she was petitioning the court with was that we were harassing like her phone, her place of where she lived, you know, like that we were contacting her. I mean,
and that never happened.
No, and us making a complaint against her husband that is a officer of the law that apparently is grabbing nurses by the arm, according to her own videos. I'm going to report that. Yeah, I don't like that. So it's like maybe that nurse felt intimidated and never said anything. But you know what? We're not doing that. And you're not going to come here and brag about it. That's for sure. You want to do that? You go do that in your private. Keep that in your closet with your skeletons. That's gross behavior. Yeah. So I don't know what they expected with that.
It was just another way for her to flex.
Yeah. And also
it was like, oh, my husband can fight my battles for me because I wanted dilaudid and I didn't get it. So he grabbed the nurse. Nope, that's illegal. That's
literally what it was about. At the end of the day, it all comes back to the pain meds. It all comes back to it. And there's a place and people need them. Yes, of course. But there's also a big problem where people are creating a community over being addicted and dependent on pain. Like it's beyond dependence. Dependence is when you just have no choice to be on the medicine. You need it.
Yeah.
Addiction is another level. And you can be prescribed independent and abuse your medication. And I don't think people realize that. Do you know there's people on here that think that they're sober because they only take the prescribed amount of oxycodone? You're still taking oxycodone.
Yep.
I mean, it sucks to have to say, well, maybe I'm kind of breaking my sobriety by having to take this medication. But I mean, if that was your drug of choice and you were abusing that, you have to take it now. I mean, you're taking that drug.
Yeah,
I don't think really the semantics of it. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that it's very like for a group of people that is so set on, well, you're judgmental, you're biased. They're the most judgmental, biased people I've ever encountered in my life. ever.
And they're literally attacking innocent fucking people is what I don't get. Like,
Yeah.
you had your addictions way back in the day. You've been sober for umpteen years. You know what I mean? And then you've got me. I've never had issues with drugs. Even if I did, it's a moot point at that point.
Yeah.
But the whole thing just drives me crazy. And I still remember one of Katie's first videos that I saw. She was talking about using her man voice or her stern voice with the male doctor. And she told the nurses she wasn't going to be chipper. She wasn't going to be nice. She was going to be shitty to them because she had a male doctor and he didn't understand. And like that whole video, she was just bragging that she had to use her stern voice with the male doctor to get her pain medication. God. And that's what it's all about, is her pain medication. And the fact that they took that little lie that Lisa spouted off about me being blacklisted from every hospital in Pennsylvania.
Like these people just make shit up because they're mad.
100%. And I even posted the conversation between me and Lisa where I said, why did you lie? And she said, because I was mad. So I posted the information that she lied, yet we still have these little trolls over here running with the lie that Lisa told. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. You think I literally have to travel to Florida every time I need to go to the hospital? Like, who manages this? A doctor in Florida? No, bitch, in Pittsburgh.
That shows where their level of critical thinking is. But for anybody listening that doesn't know, Lisa is a woman that we encountered through this whole, whatever you want to call it, as a nurse, and she's not one. And now she has an investigation in the state of Pennsylvania because she stole a woman's identity, and that woman had to be contacted by the Board of Nursing. I was on a conference call with me, the investigator, another person, and we had to give them all this information. She had like if I could find it, I'll put it up here, but the degree that she sent around looked like something that was either...
It's a Google stock image, and I'm the one that figured that out.
Did you reverse it? You reverse search it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it was, because it looks terrible, first of all.
Yeah, and the president that signed the degree, what she says that she got her master's in nursing in 2005, which doesn't make sense because that's more than a 4-year college period. She's only 42.
I was going to say.
So she would have had to be in college in the late 90s to get her master's in 2005.
Right.
And I realized that today because I found Leanne, that one Leanne page on TikTok. Oh, and it's all videos of Lisa and Lisa's lies. There's only like 6 or 7 of them. She doesn't post anymore. But I was like watching one of Lisa's videos back where she talks about she's been a master's in nursing since 2005. And she stopped, I think, in 2017 or 2019 because of her health. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. So you were in college in the late 90s when you're 2 years older than me? What? So I didn't graduate high school until 2004.
That doesn't add up unless she was like a genius or something. But honestly, I have to be honest with you.
You can hear by talking to Lisa that she's furthest thing from a genius.
Delayed. Yeah, she's giving delayed. So, like, I don't know, like, and that's what I thought, like, how did this woman get through a nursing program? Because, I mean, like, these type of things are very challenging. So she wasn't giving nurse. You usually can't get that
not
kind
at all. Oh, yeah. It happened to her in 2017, and I think we had talked about that before because that's when the fake LinkedIn account was made with her saying she was a nurse.
What something was, though?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah. And apparently she might have some type of TBI or something, which that's in line because that can cause people to pathologically lie because depending on what part of your brain gets altered. I don't know.
The only reason I don't think that is because the way Lisa was with all of her diagnoses, she would have told somebody that she had a TBI.
Well, that's true because these people advertise everything. That's the only reason
she would have told somebody. And I've had a severe TBI, but I don't talk about it. I don't like.
It's like they have to
hear that information out to anybody.
Advertise it before they say anything or disclose anything. Like, oh, I have this. It's like part of their personality or their being.
Well, she also said that she had lupus, which she's only mentioned one time in the few years that I've known her. She's got lupus. She said that any other autoimmune disease you could name it, she has it. She said it in a video.
She's full.
She had stage 3 colon cancer,
That's right. She said that too. And it's like, so
which she's never had chemo. She's never had radiation.
she's never had like an ostomy or bowel resection or like.
She said that she's had multiple bowel resections, but there's no proof to any of that.
She ate Domino's pizza just fine. I mean, usually my patients with bowel resection have a little issue with heavy foods like that. You know,
she cooked heavily. Like, I don't know if she learned how to cook from her mom or whatever, but like every day that I would talk to her, which I hated talking on FaceTime because she talked forever.
Yeah.
You could not get a word in edgewise. Like, she would always be in the middle of cooking dinner, this huge dinner that she would make every single night for her. Yeah, and she would like get upset because her sister wanted to share it with her, and she didn't want to share it with her sister, and like she never went through a period where she couldn't eat. She told all of us in a group chat that she was going to the hospital because she had a major GI bleed, but when she got there, she had a nosebleed.
Oh, she told me it was going back into her throat or something, so she was throwing it or spitting it out.
She was telling people before she ever even saw the doctor in the ER that day that she had a massive GI bleed.
Yeah, I remember.
And she was going to be admitted and all this stuff. And then she made another post, and she was like, she was much happier. She acted like nothing was wrong with her. And she's like, oh, I just had a nosebleed. Like,
she probably got meds too. She probably got meds.
100%.
You could tell when their attitude. So, and I think that has like, okay, so let's talk more about like illness makers, right? So for example, and I don't doubt this woman has something wrong with her, right, Tanya? I don't doubt she has something wrong with her, but something is up. Something is up. You don't have a sickle cell crisis, first of all, this often, and then you have no oxygen.
She looked perfectly fine sitting in that hospital room.
Great, actually. You got your out, you got your tank top always, your line.
Especially compared to all the other sickle sellers that I do follow. They do post. Yeah, they do post when they're in a crisis in the hospital, and they always have a hard time getting pain medicine. But she's getting 16 milligrams of Dilaudid in one shot. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's her home dose, apparently. That's her home dose.
How is she on IV Dilaudid at home? How is that a thing in Canada? Because Canada is just as bad as the U.S. is when it comes to the opiate crisis.
Yeah, I really have questions about that, because usually you have to be like palliative or hospice to get any IV narcotics, and they're very strict.
Even palliative, I can't get it. It would be a lot easier if I could, because that's what I take at home for my normal medication, and sometimes I can't take it because of my stomach. But IV would be a lot easier, but it's also a lot easier to use incorrectly and take advantage of.
And that's why I think she was so like adamant about them not taking her line out, and she wouldn't get the port. Because if you need a line in for a year, you need a port. Like,
yeah, and you're not supposed to have a PICC line for more than like 3 months.
No. And she was pushing it. And it's like, why are you not letting them take the line out? And I don't know, like maybe Canada's like Mexico or something. You could just walk into certain places and get stuff. I don't know. Maybe she's getting her own IV meds and she wants access, so I don't know.
I don't know the Canadian healthcare enough to know. I have no idea. As close to the U.S. is, and with the opiate crisis in the U.S. and in Canada, like you would think that would be very difficult to come by.
Exactly. You would think that it would be something that people are not getting just freely and easily. And like, also, why are you hospitalized so often, but you don't have any of the similarities to other sickle cell patients at all whatsoever? They're in a gown, they're on oxygen, they're usually pretty miserable. They're usually on PCA, they're usually on a monitor, because if you're on PCA or any type of high dose pain meds, you need to be on a monitor, especially if you're in a vaso-occlusive crisis, your heart could be affected. We need to know what's going on with your heart. There's so many things. I have so many questions, and it just doesn't make sense.
It's for like the bowel blockages, for the abdominal surgery that I had in Pittsburgh. I was on the PCA for over a week.
There you go.
I have been on PCA for like CRPS flares. I've been on PCAs, like, and when you're on a PCA, it's such a low amount every 15 minutes. You don't get like that weird rush that you do from like IV Dilaudid or morphine.
She was messing with the pump. She was doing the code and everything.
Yeah, so they came in and they changed the pump on her.
Yep, they sure did. And it's like, she tried to deny that after the fact, but it's like, that's so telling to me, it's like, and also the other thing, when you're on usually any type of narcotics, they have you on CO2 monitoring too. She's never on that. So I
But
wonder.
she never ever has a monitor on.
No,
And
never.
I have gone into the hospital so many times with
Yeah.
like the sepsis or the GI flares. I
Everything.
am always on a monitor because they always have me on IV pain meds.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm always on a monitor,
I
no
would
matter
never
what.
have my patient sitting there like that if I was dosing them up with those kind of meds. Hell no. That my patient never. So I don't know who this nurse is that has her every single time. It's not the same one, obviously. So somebody was saying that like she had mentioned her son had surgery. So I'm wondering like, is this like a Munchausen situation where she's bringing her son into the hospital and because she's walking down to the cafeteria, she's in street clothes. Like I said, none of the other stuff is there. So it's like, what's really happening?
And I've been in the hospital numerous times and they have never, and I've been at several different hospitals, they have never let me walk off the floor to go
No.
down to the cafe or the cafeteria or the gift shop by myself. They don't do that.
I'll wheel you down. Yeah, but it's like, no. And they don't let people walk because if you even slipped and fell, hospital's getting sued. They're not
the liability.
They're not
Especially if she's on that high doses of IV pain.
You're gonna take your PCA down to the fucking cafeteria? No, absolutely not. So, and that's why somebody mentioned it might be like a psych situation because then you have a common area, you're sitting with other people, you're walking around a locked area. Usually, it's like a whole, you have the whole unit, but it's
kind of like Katie did when she posted that video about her walking around the clinic and she was in a surgery center.
What was those scrubs? Somebody was saying they thought she had like work done or something because what is that?
Yeah, well, it was at I think it was Kesha that found it. She was at an actual surgery center. She wasn't in a hospital.
That's right.
She was in a 1-story surgery center.
I have questions about that. What do you think she had done? And the scrubs were weird. Those are not hospital scrubs. You get green paper scrubs.
Or blue paper scrubs. Yeah, they have blue paper scrubs here.
What she wore to her vet job or something. Like, vet job. I don't know. Anyway.
I don't honestly think she even worked there. And if she did, I think it was probably for about 5-6 months because she doesn't know how to talk to people.
She can't work with other people in a way like that. You need to work like really good together. You need to have a nice cohesive team. She can't. She would think she's the vet or something.
That's why she has no fucking friends.
Mm-hmm.
She literally has no friends there in Minnesota except for Tara. Well, and we see what happened with that.
Tara, yeah, exactly. And that's why she always tries to say that to other people, like, you have no friends. Nobody likes you. Katie, that's you. It's like
they're the worst when it comes to projecting. Yeah. The absolute worst because they have all projected things onto us that they are having issues with.
That's how I found out so many things because of how they project. I'm like, oh, so you did that. And then I ended up getting confirmation later on. But it's like so many things they led me to it. They just led me right there. Mm-hmm. They're so easy to read. And that's why I don't know like what it is they're trying to do. They have this whole calculated thing, attack the person, make everybody hate them, false outrage. Let's call their job. Let's find out where they live. Let's get everybody to do that. Like, what is this? This is
that just goes back to the parasocial relationships that we talked about on the last episode.
Well, and that's what's important too. I don't think people realize like they're being part of these weird movements. Like you don't know these people. And it's like, I try to tell certain people, like, they're like, very adamant that somebody was dragged into this. They were attacked. They were just so innocent and they ended up in here by accident, And I'm like, no, this person needs to be responsible and like speak up and say like what they really need to say. If they have an issue with me, let's talk. Well, they can't do that. Why can't they do that? Because they're embarrassed with what they've done.
That's the issue that I have mainly with Bridget because I don't think Bridget wants to be a part of this group, but I don't think Bridget knows how to get out of this type of group.
Especially with the money involved.
Yeah, and I think that if she were to sit down and have an actual human adult relationship with one of us or both of us,
it would be
we could easily squash the bullshit from her side and we could have another ally. But she's not going to let that happen because of Katie. Because of Katie and that weird paranormal freaking social
parasocial
relationship.
It is paranormal. It's fucking weird. Yeah. I don't know, man. But yeah.
But yeah, I truly think that she wants to get out because there's been bits and pieces of posts that she's made or things that she said. And I just find it weird that when I reached out to her to have an actual conversation, she didn't even respond back with like, bitch, who do you think you're talking to? She didn't respond back with anything. She literally read the message,
like she
turned around and blocked me and like hid from me.
Yeah.
But yet people are saying that she's still posting about me on Reddit. I refuse to go on Reddit. I don't care what she's saying or what fucking Catherine Holmgren is saying. I don't care what any of them are saying about me on Reddit. You will not find me on Reddit.
No, and they claim that I have a Reddit account and that I'm a sugar baby. It's like, do y'all not know me? I don't really come off as sugar baby, but okay. So it's just like, I don't know why they're so, and like, even if I wanted to go work at the Bunny Ranch in Nevada, I could do that. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Do we have something against sex workers now? Like, explain that to me. I don't understand that either.
Because I guarantee at least 3 out of the 5 of them have fucked for some money.
And you know, Bridget was in an adult film, so
which she still denies.
Yes, and we have all the shots of it or whatever, but it's like, y'all do you, but like, why when we even like something that's not even true about us, you're trying to like make us seem bad for it? It's like, that's not even a really bad thing. It's like, you know,
no, it's like the whole 17 checks thing that they were talking about a couple of weeks ago or whatever about me. I've already made a video about that. I've explained the whole 17 checks thing. Like, I was not the one that wrote those checks. I was covering for somebody, so I didn't turn them in. So I paid cash out of my own pocket for all of those checks that they wrote.
And they're gonna make it seem however they want to make you look bad.
Exactly. But I'm not gonna like. There's no arrest record. There's no mugshot. Like, do your fucking research.
They all have mugshots.
Exactly. Every single one of them does. I don't.
Where's
you don't.
No. They did things in their adult life that they should be very embarrassed of, but for some reason, instead of just going and being a better person and working on themselves, they're working on us for some reason.
Yeah, and if I'm such a shit person, why was it you weren't able to find anything about me for 20 years?
Exactly. They had to go back that far, and for me, 10 years, and it was dumb as shit too. Oh, I harassed the girl that tried to beat my ass. God forbid. It's like, you know, and then she called the cops because she's a pussy bitch. I don't know what to tell you. It's like, that's the worst thing you could find. And obviously, as a nurse, I have to have like FBI background checks and all this stuff. I wouldn't have the jobs I have if there was an issue. Put it that way. I don't work in a detox like somebody else, or
I've worked in hospitals. I've worked in long-term care. I've worked in schools.
Yeah.
I worked EMS. Like all of that, they need a background check for it.
If you were such a bad person. And Janina, she can't even vote, let alone go get a job as a nurse or any of these great things.
But you can't vote. Sit down.
Like, you literally can't even do one adult thing. Like, sit down. Isn't that ridiculous? But she's giving political advice on her platform.
And she can't even clean a stranger's house without smoking a blunt. So,
which is weird. I don't understand. Like, why would you try to justify? I could smoke in my client's home. It's like, but why would you? Why would you do that? Like, are you just that you can't help yourself that much that you need to smoke while you're cleaning the person's house? And you can't just leave a nice, clean home. You have to leave your stench behind. Like, my God. You know, and I'm all for marijuana and all that stuff's great, but like, you just can't help yourself. You have to smoke all day, every day. I don't get that.
Yeah, you can't wait like an hour or two to get done cleaning up the house and then go smoke out in your car.
Like normal adults, they go about their day, then they go home, relax on their porch, and they do that. You know, it's like she just all day puffing on the thing, you know, and then popping the pills in between. And it's like, I don't understand how nobody's like, hey, slow down, lady. It's like, you know, they're just like, oh, good job, Janina.
I did try telling Lisa she needs to slow down, but she didn't want to hear it.
I told her. She reported me to the board of nursing.
She reported you?
Mm-hmm. I didn't tell you she did that specifically because I said she was high. She said,
oh my God.
Yeah, she reported me to the board of nursing because I said that she looked like she was under the influence, and she said that I'm not an MD, so I can't say that. That's what she said.
I'm not an MD, and I can clearly tell when somebody's high.
That she was just all over the place. Like she would.
I have messages from her where she was telling me that she was tripling the amount of narcotics she was taking.
I know. Yeah, exactly. And she will try to sit here and act like that's not the case now. It's like, just own it, girl. Just you have a little bit of a problem. You can always fix that. That's okay. But no, instead, I'm the bad guy and I need to get reported. So, you know, there's that.
Well, you know, that's what addicts do. My brother did that. Anytime I called my brother out, he would try to call me out for some stupid shit that I had nothing to do with.
Exactly.
It's what unfortunately, it's what addicts do. It's a lot of what they know.
they don't see their own selves. They don't see how they sound and act. Like, she thinks she's right. She thinks she didn't steal someone's identity. She thinks she didn't get high. She thinks she didn't. It's like, Lisa, you taking more of your medicine than you're prescribed, you're getting high. That's what that is. Like, she doesn't like put that together.
Well, the thing that's upsetting me with like the other side is because now that they're trying to throw Shannon under the bus, saying that Shannon was the one that photoshopped her degree for her or whatever.
Oh, wow.
I know for a fact that that's not the case.
No, she just had a video like with it in it, I think. She didn't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, she had nothing to do with it. She just took what Lisa sent to her.
Yeah.
Face value.
I'm sure Lisa did it because it was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't good. I think Shannon would probably do a better job, honestly.
Oh, 100%. She didn't, I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. The president that signed that degree that she sent around from Temple University wasn't even the president until 2017. Nope. She said she got her master's in 2005. So make fucking sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Just like the fake nursing license that she sent to all of us. She didn't realize that at the bottom it said that she got the license in 1971.
That was dumb. Yeah.
So she obviously doesn't pay attention to detail.
And I just don't understand like why somebody would go to this link. But again, this takes us back to like the parasocial thing. There's so many people on social media that they might genuinely have something wrong with them. But like say they got in an accident and they're paralyzed. Now they're on live stream all the time. All of a sudden they have a G-tube. Now they have this. Now they have this. Now they have this. And it's like a lot of it turns out these people are faking. They're faking half the time.
Kirsten Cunningham.
Well, that's who I was just kind of referring to. And there is that girl, I think she was from Long Island, from New York, where I was from. She had like cotton balls in her kangaroo pump thing. Like she, to make it look like a feeding, like was in there. It was cotton. It was cotton balls.
Oh my God.
She had it hooked up, like shoved in her nose, just shoved in there. The triangle part, like just shoved it. And it was, people could see the thing. And it's like, that's not how tubes look when it goes all the way down to your stomach. Why would it be right there? So the police arrested her. But it's like she had so much money that she got grifting because people were sending her medical supplies, just cash, straight cash. She said she was dying of pancreatic cancer. Like this girl was like 19.
Yeah.
She was scanning. She was like doing all these. Her hair was so voluptuous and thick. And she was like trying to advertise products. Like, I have cancer, but look at my hair. Like really bad, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
This is a common thing. This is a common thing now.
Yeah, it's sad. And there needs to be more
moderation of it.
Yeah, more moderation, stricter security policies when it comes to like making videos, especially when you're like putting your Venmo, your Cash App, your PayPal, all of that shit in your bio. Like those type of people that have all those in their bio are the grifters. They're the ones that are trying to benefit off of people watching them go through hard times.
Why they want to run the nurses off social media. They want to make us leave. They want to, oh, you're terrible. And then everyone attacks us. And so many of us.
The nurses are the ones that are calling them out on their bullshit.
Exactly. Or people in the medical field in general, because I feel like they want to try to protect their little social media bubble. Mm-hmm. And in doing so, they have to get rid of the people that, I mean, I look at half these people, I'm like, you're faking. Like, it's not hard to tell.
No, like, it's really not. Especially if you live with it every day and you see other people that supposedly live with it. Like, you can automatically, like with Kirsten, I knew from the get-go, she supposedly has an NJ and an NG, but every time she drinks, her NJ comes out. Yeah. It comes out of her NJ, and I'm like, that's not how that's supposed to work.
Nope.
She's got a different NG tube in every 3 days. Like she acts like she's paralyzed, but in multiple videos you've seen her actually move her legs. Yeah. Like, and her parents let her do this.
Yeah. And you know what it is? They garner this sympathy so people don't call them out. They feel bad for them. They don't want to say something because they might be wrong. I'm 100%. If I'm calling somebody out on that shit, I'm 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And if they could prove to me that I'm wrong, I will apologize and make a public service announcement about it. But they'd have to prove that, and they can't ever. So,
well, she made a post, was it last week, the week before, where the air ambulance had to land and come get her because they were doing CPR on her for 15 minutes, and she had 10 like tonic-clonic seizures back together. The air ambulance came and got her, took her to the hospital. She stopped seizing, so they sent her right back home after doing compressions on her for 15 minutes.
Yes, right. That makes sense.
I'm like, okay, that doesn't happen. And then somebody posted a news article for her little town in England where she's at. And it was an old man, or not even an old man, I think he was like in his 40s, got into a bad car accident and died. And it was his lifeline that landed that she was trying to say was hers.
So she's tracking these things, trying to line it up with herself. That's what I'm saying. Like, this honestly is sad and it's scary, and there's got to be more moderation of it. These platforms should be having medical professionals on their staff to go through and flag people. Like, okay, this one's a little weird. Let's look into this person a little more. Okay,
Yeah.
If you're going to be on here asking people for money related to your medical condition, we need medical paperwork. We need something. You can't do that. Like, there has to be some moderation of it. And there's still, it's such a free for all. Anybody, Janina has a GoFundMe that she's homeless, still up to this very day right now. That woman, she just said she sold a boat. The fuck? Like, I don't get that. Like,
especially like when they tried to say that I was grifting, that I was too poor to get an attorney because I had set up 2 different GoFundMes within the last 20 years. 2. And they were for medical treatment that I needed, that I had to pay out of pocket for, that I couldn't afford. Exactly. That's what GoFundMe is for, not because you don't know how to pay your rent on time.
It's like you're homeless. It literally said, help Janina. She's homeless and in pain. What? She's got 2 kids. What about the kids? Help Janina's family, maybe? Could we do that? No. Mm-hmm. Help Janina. She is homeless and she is in pain. It's all about her. So I don't think.
It makes me wonder who set that up for her.
Like, how embarrassing. Like, I don't understand how these people do this with their whole chest, and then they come and they want to judge everybody else. It's like, y'all are not going to a good place when you leave this earth. That's all I have to say. You have done so much bad stuff to people, and just going through life with bad intentions. I don't know if people realize it, but you get bad karma. You can't be negative towards everybody.
100%.
Yeah. So
I will say that till I'm fucking blue in the face. Yeah. Karma, for especially one of them, karma's gonna be knocking real soon.
But they've been getting it in a lot of different ways. And I know from their day-to-day, like in their day-to-day life, they're not happy people. They get their karma in that way. Like, one of them, for example, she'll never have the stuff that I have, the relationship I have with my daughter, the beautiful life that I create. She won't have this ever. You can be a millionaire and still be miserable. She's a perfect example of that.
Yep.
Money can't buy happiness at the end of the day. And you certainly can't go on social media and send people $5,000 and think that they're going to be your friend and go with your bad behavior, because that's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm. It is.
That's where we're at with them. So
mining order bullshit.
Why would she continue to go on and on just because she wants to? I don't get it.
Well, she keeps dropping all these weird vague posts now that she's gonna come after us again.
She's pulling the rug under, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nobody's giving her an RO. I don't know why she thinks she's gonna get one. You can't sit there. She's clearly not intimidated or afraid. That's the bottom line.
Nope.
If you're not afraid, you don't get an RO. Period. So
and all the shit that she's been posting are the lies that we can prove are the lies. The shit that we've been posting are in defense of her posts. That's why I don't understand why she doesn't.
Yeah, the way she puts things in writing like that, like, she's not very bright. Like, I don't know. Like, she'd be better off.
She is. That's her biggest downfall. Is she thinks she's a lot smarter than she is.
Well, that's the mental illness. Her brain is like telling her she's just getting over on everybody and she's winning. It's like, what are you winning? I'm just what is the prize here? What is it? I just want you to leave us alone.
And for her to post that she just got diagnosed with bipolar, like, that threw me off. I'm like, why would she post that? Because she knows that gives us all something to be like, that explains your behavior.
We knew something's wrong with her, but she's more than that. She's like borderline or something. She's
definitely BPD.
Yeah, something else is wrong with her. But either way, she's trying to throw it out there like an excuse. Like, oh, this is why my behavior is so weird. It's like, well,
then fix it. If you know what's wrong with you now, and you know why you're doing all these shitty behaviors, then fix the shitty behaviors, and maybe you could be a real adult.
Yeah, it's like, we're gonna be miserable too? No, ma'am, I don't think so. So, I mean, that's it. I just think that people on the internet need to stay in their lane. If they want to go and fucking act out and be miserable, fine. Go find somebody else, because I'm not the one. I don't know what to tell them. They shouldn't do it to anybody, but I don't understand what the goal, what the big prize is.